Passing begin and the talking end.
Erickson's the man.
Craig has
No doubt about it.
Detmer, of course.
Detmer.
Ty Detmer. He's the young gun. A stronger arm.
Too quick, too cool.
Miami on top, 34-20. Kane.
45-3. I'm not giving them nothing.
BYU, no doubt. 3-0.
BYU 42, Miami 3. We'll give them 3.
No!
Tonight, we have the top-ranked Hurricanes of Miami University invading Provo, Utah to take on the 16th-ranked Cougars of Brigham Young University. In the background, the beauty and serenity of the Wasatch Mountains. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Franklin, and welcome once again to ESPN's primetime coverage of CFA football. I can promise you this, we do not have serenity down on the playing field here because they're looking for a record crowd of over 65,000. In fact, the people at Brigham Young say if they had a stadium that seated over 100,000, they could have sold that many tickets for this one. And why not? You have two premier candidates for the Heisman Trophy this year in Erickson and also Ty Detmer. You have two offenses that were two of the most prolific in all of the 80s in college football. Gary Danielson is with us on the telecast tonight. It's not that Gary is afraid of heights, but he wanted to be closer to a chalkboard to talk about what these two dynamic offenses do. Gary.
All right, thanks, Ron. Before I explain these two spread offenses, let me first talk about an old saying that doesn't apply anymore. They used to say, he who has the chalk last wins. First of all, they don't even use chalk. They use these colored pencils. And secondly, it doesn't apply anymore because both of these teams throw the ball by using option football. They just don't run out and cut because the defense might be there. What they do is they spread the field horizontally and vertically and let this guy set in zones against zone. Break against man-to-man, curl in here if he's getting from the outside, cut across. If the linebackers come across, they'll do it over here with the tight end, same routine. And if they bring those linebackers up, they double this guy, they'll bring the tight end or the split receiver across, bring this guy to the post, curl on the outside. They still have problems with man-to-man defense. They'll cross these two guys, run this guy to the post, and bring him to that open area. Hey, it doesn't matter who has the chalk last. Every play you call works because you make your adjustments after the snap. So, I know you're saying now, what does the defense do? They don't have a chance. Well, they got something better than having the chalk last. They got four guys right here. When they come like that, it doesn't make any difference if you're stretching them horizontally or vertically because the big stretch now becomes the horizontal stretch that the quarterback's in. And I've never seen a quarterback yet that can throw lying flat on his back. Ron?
Okay, thank you, Gary. Now let's put a bottom line on it. The two things that these clubs are worried about, first of all for Brigham Young, and that is the front four. A rugged and very quick front four. BYU has to pass protect and do it well tonight. And for Miami, they have not played a ball game. Defensively, they worry about giving up the big play. Tonight's game is brought to you by Northwest Airlines, committed to getting you there on time. And by Days Ends. Days offers great rooms, great value at over 1,000 great locations. There's a Cougar Stadium in Provo, Utah. They look for a record crowd tonight. Coach Erickson paces the sideline knowing this right here. Danger at the top. The last two preseason #1 teams have lost their season openers. Florida State in '88, last year Michigan. Carlos Huerta. He is from Coral Gables, very close by. Kicking to number 21, Stacy Corley. And on the far side, number 5 is Derwin Gray. This is going to be taken at the 15-yard line. Out over the 30 to the 33 is Brad Clark. And now for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Die Hard. Ty Detmer out of San Antonio is at quarterback. He will have Tuipulotu and Bellini as his running backs. Nyberg and Boyce are the wide receivers. His tight end, All-American candidate Chris Smith. In the middle of things, Robert Stevens, the center. Baumforth and May are the guards. And at the tackles, Neil Fort and Mike Kine. Movement by Miami. Detmer will take it straight ahead as we see no markers down on the play, and he'll take it to the 30-yard line. Maurice Crum will have the tackle. Now defensively, Maryland and Caesar, the defensive tackles for the Hurricane from the 4-3. Shane Curry and Anthony Hamlet, the defensive ends. Maurice Crum, who just made the tackle in the middle. Jesse Armstead and Darren Smith on the outside at linebacker. In the secondary, they're very good. Smith and Bailey at the corners, and the safeties, Darrell Williams and Hurley Brown. Second down and 8. Feels the pressure, gets it away, complete across the 40-yard line as Armstead comes over to make the stop, but Bellini out of the backfield, and something you talked to me about yesterday as far as the backs coming out and how BYU would utilize them, that we'll see a lot of this tonight.
BYU, one of the best in the country at getting their running backs out into the secondary in a hurry. On this play, he had to. He had Russell Maryland right in his face. That's what Ty is good at, is getting rid of that ball with someone in his face.
Third down. They need just across the 43. Short drop. It is complete. Near sideline. Nyberg will have the first down just shy of midfield. Maurice Crum on the stop.
Ty did a nice job there, Ron. They were off in the secondary. He only needed 4 yards. He took advantage of it, got it in and out of his hand quick. Just a 3-step drop, first down.
Nyberg, who is a senior from St. George, Utah, is described as their go-to guy. That he was in the first big third down play of the evening. Almost 4,600 yards for Ty Detmer. 2 of 2 in this one tonight for a total of 14 as Corley comes in at running back. Corley, left side, 5, 6, 7, down to the 43-yard line of Miami. Bailey from his right cornerback spot up to make the tackle.
Absolutely one of the keys to this game is, can Brigham Young run the ball just a little bit to keep him honest. There you see him. He gets him with the snap count, Ty does. Runs a little bit of counter tray back in there. Positive yardage. Very good side for them, moving the ball on the ground.
Gary, this is twice on this opening series that we have seen the defensive front for Miami jump. Obviously, Ty is using a stop and start in his count.
Give him a hut. He's give it to him. They're wired on defense.
Detmer goes with the running play to Tuipulotu down to the 43-yard line. That's going to be a gain of a half, maybe a yard, and Darren Smith, the sophomore from Miami, comes up to make the play, and now a very big one coming up here for the Cougars.
Still in pretty good position here. Third and about 3 and 4. A lot of things he can do. No way that Miami has any idea that he has to throw, has to run. They've got a lot of different options he can call. That'd be nice all night to have third and 3 and 4.
Just about the 40 from the backside, hit. The ball is fumbled as they scramble for it. The Hurricanes say they have it, and the officials still waiting to give us a signal. Miami football. Jesse Armstead is the man who caused the fumble. Anthony Hamlet has made the recovery.
Here you go, taking a look at this replay of the sack and the fumble. We're zeroing in on Maryland first now. They're going to try to double team him, but this time the back helps, chops his leg. But Armstead from the outside comes in practically untouched, gets Ty from behind. They tried to run a little pick play there, but they rolled the zone. Good defensive call by Sonny Lubick.
McGuire, the lone setback.
He's audibling.
Short drop comes out to the near sideline to Carroll, pushed out of bounds at the 46. The starters on offense tonight for the Miami Hurricanes. Craig Erickson, West Palm Beach, Florida at quarterback. He has Stephen McGuire at fullback tonight. His tailback is Wesley Carroll out of Cleveland, Ohio. Frill Hill and Lamar Thomas, the wide receivers. Rob Chudzinski is the tight end. The center, Darren Handy. The guards, Cristobal, that's Louis Cristobal, and Claude Jones. At the tackles, Sullivan and Searcy. Two tight ends. Straight ahead with the play, and it looks as though the Hurricanes have picked up the first down. And let's take a look at the BYU defense as some extracurricular activity goes on downfield. Mark Smith is the nose guard. Harston and Kafusi are the defensive tackles. Rocky Beagle and Shad Hansen are the linebackers in the inside. Patissimano and Levitt on the outside. The corners, Tony Crutchfield and Brian Mitchell. With the safeties, Josh Arnold and Norman Dixon.
The crowd was reacting a little bit. A couple of the Miami receivers down there throwing in the backfield. They're very aggressive receivers, not only catching the ball, but throwing blocks down in the secondary. And that's what kind of got everybody's attention. It was Thrill Hill, I think it was.
I think Thrill was involved in that. Connolly comes into the ball game, number 28. He was the starter last year. He's out of Tarpon Springs, Florida. Catches the ball extremely well. McGuire got the start tonight. That is how extremely close those two fullbacks are. Movement on the line as Mark Smith comes across, makes contact. Flags go down. Illegal procedure, Miami. Guy Gibbs, our referee tonight, and he says mark it against the Hurricanes.
False start on the offense. Still first down.
We're going to take a look here at that false start. You see the linemen, they're in a two-point stance, but the tight end, let's see which guy moves here. Oh, the left guard makes a move, and even if he's in a two-point stance, if he draws him up, it's still a penalty.
Connolly, running play, hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of one. Shad Hansen steps up to make the hit on him, and with every tackle, this partisan house is roaring here in Provo.
Well, that's a big key to the game. If they can keep Miami's running game down to just a reasonable 100 yards, if they can both run it and pass it, it's going to be a long night for the Cougars. But if they can keep that punch away from them, then they can concentrate on that offensive passing attack.
On second, Erickson hit and sacked. Rocky Beagle, the first man to get there, back at the 47-yard line.
We're going to take a look at this. They confused Craig that time. They came with the blitz off the slot. There you see a Beagle coming, a free run. Craig reads it. I don't know really if the defensive, if the secondary confused him too much, or somebody, one of the receivers, didn't break their route, because it looked like Craig was ready to throw.
Patissimano was 37 right there behind him. Third down. Miami needs the 33 of BYU. Wanted the quick pass, and he will be sacked again. Rich Kafusi.
They're playing man-to-man defense. They take away the quick throw. Kafusi, their best athlete, comes in and cleans up, but it really was a coverage sack.
Paul Snyder in to punt. Matt Bellini is the deep single safety for the Cougars, and they're coming after him off the side of his foot. Not a good one. It will come out of bounds up around the 25-yard line. So both offensive series don't really go anywhere. We're going to take a timeout. No score.
All of that bounds on the number 26.
College Football Saturday, Miami at BYU, is brought to you by Today's Truck, Chevrolet. Nobody's running like the heartbeat of America. And by Bud Light. Everything else is just alike. Ron Franklin and Gary Danielson back in Provo, Utah. Great to have you along. The third game of this doubleheader. California won the opener, Virginia the second game, and now Miami and BYU. Detmer complete again, far sideline to Nyberg. Going to be minimal yardage, maybe a gain of 3, just shy of the 30 as Roland Smith converged onto him very quickly.
But they'll hit you. There's no doubt about that. Those Miami defensive backs will come up. If you're going to throw those short passes, they're going to come up and lay some helmet at you every time. Ty's going with the short drops, trying to get the ball off, not get that Miami defensive line too charged up with a few sacks.
BYU moved the ball in the opening sequence, couple of first downs into the fumble, and in a great defensive series. How important is that early in the ballgame?
Well, it gives them their confidence that they're looking for, because this is a big team. They're playing somebody that's ranked way up there, and they've never played a team that rated this high before.
Detmer, lots of time, has it complete. Chris Smith, his tight end. First down, BYU.
We got a pretty passing game right here. We're going to zero in on Chris Smith, the potential All-American right here. He's going to take his inside release. Got man-to-man coverage. He gets underneath the linebacker, and Ty puts it right there. It's a way to throw the ball. They had a back cutting underneath there to clear some of that underneath coverage, and Ty laid it right in there.
1st and 10 is that pass good for 10 yards, and BYU at their own 40-yard line. Bellini, 45 at the 50, and that is another BYU first down. Hurley Brown ran him out of bounds.
Great read by Ty Detmer here. You can tell he's taking the short drop. He wants to throw the ball to his wide receiver. They take it away from him. He goes to his second guy, and a 3-step drop. Being able to react that quick is why Ty can throw those numbers week after week up there, those big numbers, because he makes those split decisions just without even thinking about it. He's 4 for 4 for 33 yards, all of them on a 3-step drop.
That's on the 3-step drop, 4 of 4. Movement in the backfield by Corley. Now the marker comes down, spin move to the outside, and tackled at the 47 by Armstead. But I think it'll come back as Stacy Corley came out of his stance, gave a little stutter step to the right to come back and move a count too soon.
Wouldn't have been a penalty, but they already had one man in motion, so 2 guys in motion is going to grab him.
Lavelle Edwards, his 19th year here at Brigham Young University.
He's about showed the NCAA how to throw the ball for years around here. You know, kind of an unknown fact. He was a defensive coordinator as an assistant here for years.
Offense, still first down.
Well, we'll show you what happened on the play. Watch Corley, number 21, top of your screen.
He is moving laterally, but there's another man in motion, so the 2 of them moving causes the penalty.
3 wide receivers go right this time. Detmer, lots and lots of time. Now it breaks down. Gets it away, overthrown. Bellini at the 33 is the man he wanted. Bailey was the closest to it. Robert Bailey, a senior from Miami, Florida.
He had him open. This is the first one of his 7-step drops he's going to take, trying to throw the ball downfield. They're going to try to take those defensive ends and push them out wide. Ty makes the nice spin move, comes out, and those receivers will come across, and he had Bellini open, just threw it a little high.
Russell Maryland was number 67 for Miami, putting on pressure. Detmer now 5 of 6 for 40 yards. Well, that offensive line doing a fine job as he scrambles to the 40 and now the 38, and that is enough for the BYU first down from Tacklesy.
Well, he had the good protection again. Ty's going to take another deep drop. You see him double teaming on the line right there. Steps up into the pocket. Really a coverage type thing. He has to come out, and when everybody's playing man-to-man, that's when you get those big scrambles for 10, 12 yards, because everybody's got their back to the quarterback. Ty, get down, babe.
I started to say, you can see Bailey coming into the picture, and he has the rep as being one of the really big hitters for the Kings. Rolls the pocket this time, has it complete at the 25 to Bellini. 13 yards.
Detmer's just a magician with this football. We're going to take a look at Bellini here coming across. It's a bootleg action. He'll fake the action and come outside of the pocket. Bellini comes inside. He's got a man chasing him, and Ty puts this ball in a position where just Mike can catch the ball. Low and away. Boy, he's just a magician coming out of that bag. He throws on the run. He's a little bit short, so they're going to have to get him out of the pocket occasionally to throw, but he throws a lot of balls on the money. You know, guys don't have to stop and jump, but he just puts it right there.
Bellini is out. Corley comes in along with Salido. Draw play. Salido loses the ball at the 21-yard line. Miami football. 2 fumbles, 2 losses of fumbles.
Well, this is a little bit of a high-risk play here. We didn't get to the replay early enough. Ty kind of fakes the pass and hands to him, but he had the football, which just raked across the arm. They're moving the ball, but they're just not making the plays, holding on to it.
6:51 left in this opening quarter, still no score.
Date that Miami fans especially will be interested in. East Carolina has just kicked a field goal. Ron Imperanto. It is tied at 10-10 down in Tallahassee. Seminoles have lost their last 2 openers. They are in a tough one right now with the Pirates. Let's go back out to Provo. Ron and Gary.
Chris, thanks so much. Several surprises in the state of Florida. The University of Florida winning big over Oklahoma State today, and so far in this ball game, total yardage BYU 77, Miami only 4. But the Canes have recovered 2 Cougar fumbles. McGuire to the 24. Kafusi is the first man to hit it. Now let's go back and look at that fumble just a moment ago. Salido on the draw. Great call here.
They had him upfield rush. You see they caught him in a little bit of a blitz, but Barrow comes over and just rakes the ball. Caught him in the one spot.
And then Darrell Williams will make the recovery.
2 big fumbles. They're moving the ball. I mean, they got to be elated over there at the BYU sideline.
2 fumbles in Miami territory, the 47-yard line, and now the 21. Complete at the 29. Ball is fumbled. That's no signal whether the play is dead. Yes, they say it is. Randall Hill made the reception.
He definitely was down. He had his knee down on that one. I don't know if he jammed his finger or hand on the ground right there. Looks like he jammed his arm and the ball popped loose, but he was definitely on the ground in that one.
Well, you could see the low-line super there, Gabby Sabatini, the winner of the women's finals at the U.S. Open. Tie break in the second set to win it over Graf. McGuire stumbles once. Second effort, he has the first down and about 9 more out to the 40.
They love Steve McGuire. I mean, they're mentioning him in the same breath as Alonzo Highsmith, their great All-American fullback. McGuire scored 10 touchdowns, had their all-time freshman record last year, rushed for 546 yards, and he gets some big yards for him all the time.
He's got 16 yards on 3 carries tonight as Alex Johnson comes in to replace him. McGuire, pretty good size at 5'11", 220 pounds. Misdirection, bringing the guards, breaks it open, and lots of running room for Johnson. Cuts it back, and he's down to the 21-yard line. Brian Mitchell saved possibly a touchdown.
Alex Johnson, the speedster. Here you see a little counter tray action. The 2 big guys from the outside pulling. Alex gets the big hole, and he just explodes through there. Brian Mitchell, the fastest guy in the BYU team, comes back and saves a touchdown because he's probably the only guy in the field that could have caught him.
And the point you made earlier, the Miami wideouts love to block downfield. You could see it on that play. McGuire back in the game. No hold at left tackle. Slides to the outside, and he's going to have 6 yards. Rocky Beagle from his inside linebacking position comes over defensively. But now the Canes moving the football far more convincingly than earlier in this first quarter.
Well, that's Lavelle Edwards' big fear, is that they're going to just ram it down their throat with the running game. Everybody talks about Erickson. Dennis in Miami ran the ball about 52% of the time last year.
Well, particularly toward the end of the year, Miami ran the ball very well. And Dennis Erickson says they want to continue that this year. Swings it out to Conley. He turned an ankle or something as he goes down at the 13-yard line, and let's see if he gets up okay. Brian Mitchell on the stop, and it looked as though he twisted a knee or an ankle as he tried to make the cut.
It was a screen play, and either Dennis got the ball out there a little too early or the lineman stayed in a little too long. Conley, look at, he's got no help out here. He's going to have to look for these big guys coming in, and yes, he does slip on the turf.
He slipped rather than turning the knee.
And of course, that was a big point of interest yesterday, was the length of the grass out there yesterday. All the Miami guys like that fast track.
Spencer and McGuire, the setbacks on a 3rd down. Miami needs just outside the 10. McGuire up the middle, 1st and goal, Canes. Mark Smith defensively. They're going to spot it just outside the 7-yard line of BYU. 5 carries now for 27 for McGuire.
Well, Cristobal, Handy, and Jones, the left guard, center, and right guard, just are creating a hole for all the running backs, to especially McGuire, to pound up in there. This is the spot on the field where Erickson has been very good at getting his team in the end zone.
McGuire, right side, he'll score.
It's the same play that Alex Johnson just broke for 40 yards. This time McGuire is going to run the little counter tray action. The 2 big guys, the guard and the tackle, are pulling. They're going to just pound it up in there, just overpowering the BYU guys on that. A 7-yard walk-in.
79, Mike Sullivan with the paving block as Carlos Huerta. Look at the length of the grass. Huerta worked overtime yesterday. And in fact, he said he was a little concerned about his kicking, but he knocks that one home. Flag in the play. So we'll hold it right here for just a second. 3:07 left in this opening period.
What did he say? He's like hitting it out of the rough, huh? Is that what he said?
Illegal procedure against Miami.
Gonna have to do this one again.
Huerta worked yesterday after a very late.
We have illegal procedure on the offense.
Well, the special teams obviously don't realize that they need to be back out there, and now they're being beckoned from the bench. There's Huerta. But what he was talking about, this is a very lush and beautiful field, but they leave it just a tad high. And because of no tee in the colleges since last year, Huerta said that when the ball goes on the ground, that there is grass between his foot and the ball. And he said it's like hitting out of the rough. And he said some are going left, some are going right. They're not all going straight.
Well, he has never missed an extra point. So what does he have in a row here? 91 or something in a row, extra points. And he doesn't want to ruin it with a kind of a knuckleball out of the high grass.
Well, he's going to get to do it again, this time from back at the 15-yard line. And if he hits it, it would be 92 straight. 7 Miami kicking records. And as we told you just a moment ago at kickoff, he comes from very close by Coral Gables.
He was funny talking about it, though, wasn't he? He had a pretty good hit.
He has a great sense of humor. He, in fact, is a pre-law major, a 3.31 GPA, academic All-American last year.
Well, he gets a lot of practice behind this offense that he's with.
Boy, scored over 1,200 points in the last 3 years. He's been a part of some of that. Well, the penalty makes no difference to Huerta as he gets that one. 3:07 left opening period. It's the Canes 7-0. Well, mark it down for tomorrow. We simply like to call it the first and last word for you on football Sundays. NFL Game Day, new time. Remember, at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and then we wrap it up at 7 tomorrow evening. With our award-winning crew, NFL Game Day and NFL Primetime tomorrow right here on ESPN.
I can guarantee you, playing pro ball, we used to run home to watch that show, find out what everybody did around the league. Used to watch Chris and Tom and all the guys, get all the highlights.
Huerta's kickoff. This is going to go to Gray. 5 yards deep. He will not return. And the Cougars will take it out at the 20-yard line. And now a marker from deep downfield at the 30-yard line after the play had been touched dead. That flag came from the near side. It was thrown into the middle of the field at the 30. personal foul, Brigham Young.
Well, you know, Miami usually gets all the press about being the rough guys and getting all the personal fouls, and the first one to draw blood, so to speak, has been BYU tonight.
Yeah, but Lavelle was not very pleased with their opening game last week when they had a rough start against UTEP as far as the penalties are concerned. This will take it back to the 10-yard line. So the personal foul pushes it back to the 10, and understand one thing. BYU is not like your normal football team. It doesn't matter that they're on their own 10-yard line. They will throw as quickly here as they will at the Miami 10, right?
No doubt about it. He said that they don't even know down and distance or field position. They just call plays.
Goes with a running play, though, to Corley. Quick pursuit. Barrow hit him first, and then he is knocked out of bounds across the way. Let's go to Chris Fowler for this update on what's going on in college football today. Chris.
Okay, fellas, Florida State has awakened. 80-yard drive capped right here as Edgar Bennett draws in the Brad Johnson pass. 17-10 now. The Seminoles jump in front of East Carolina midway in the second quarter. Pair of touchdowns from Mr. Johnson. Back now to Provo.
Thanks, Chris. Bennett picking up where he left off last year. He did a really good job, particularly at the end of the year. Big running back for Florida State. Detmer pauses over the middle, incomplete, and he had him open. Tuipulotu. And in going after the football, he took a shot at the 35. Looked over at the bench, and he'll come back to the huddle now. He's okay.
Miami is sitting in a too deep zone. Two free safeties are playing half the field, and they're going to read Ty's eyes. He looks right, he looks him off, and he delivers it with a guy in his face a little high again. That's what that pressure up the middle. Whoa! That's why the fullback would rather block than catch passes. You know, I mean, it's
Charles Farms, who played a lot last year, is listed as a backup, and again shows the strength of that secondary with Hurley Brown and Darrell Williams. And Farms is good enough to play for many colleges. Detmer, lots and lots of time, wanted to dump it off. Now, open over the middle, has his tight end, Chris Smith, and that's enough for the first down.
This is an absolute bravo play by Ty Detmer here. I mean,
he really sees the field well, doesn't he?
He buys time. He's already got the Miami defensive lineman slowing down and ready for him to scramble. There you can see Caesar right there. But he can't keep up with Ty right here as he scrambles. And as he scrambles, he keeps looking downfield. He finds his All-American tight end, takes a little hit, but for a 20-yard gain, you'll take those all night, even if you're only 6 foot 170.
Good for 24, and throwing across the body that way is pretty tough.
Proved he has something on the ball, can throw it.
Short drop. Near sideline, Valdez pushed out of bounds close to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of almost 5 as Farms, who is a busy man of this series, makes the play defensively.
We talked to Roger French. He spoke really highly of Nate Valdez. There you see Ty, 8 for 10, 81 yards. Valdez, they feel, is going to be the star of the future for him. Just a sophomore. They got a guy that can catch the ball. That's what's important. They got a guy that can put the ball there, too.
Well, Valdez is also out of the state of Texas, as is Detmer.
Miami's moved up their secondary here. See if they come a little bit.
Valdez is out of Mission, Texas.
Here comes the blitz.
Corley going to be knocked down. It's Barrow, who steps across the line of scrimmage and makes the hit on him.
Well, Ty recognized the secondary was up there. He called an audible. The secondary was a completely different look for him. He knew the blitz was coming. He elected to go with the running play there, and the penetration was too much. Kind of blew it up before it got started.
You know, Barrow has played the last 2 series, and we just stood up to check down on the bench. Armstead is okay, just that Miami, because of the depth, given some starters breathers early on in the game.
And I think Barrow might be a little better in pass coverage with the zone than Jesse. Jesse's a better pass rush guy.
Barrow coming on the blitz from that left side. Pass in and out of the hands at the 45-yard line. Matt Suzuki was open, and he dropped it.
Take a look at the secondary from a little bit higher up right now. You're going to see the deep double zone. The two safeties back up. The linebackers are reading his eyes. Watch the middle linebacker. Ty looks him off, but delivers it just a tad behind the receiver.
Let me apologize. It was Nyberg who dropped the ball.
Nyberg, one he usually catches.
Kaufman, who does the place kicking, the kicking off, and the punting. Line drive. Carroll. Crosses the 30 to the 35. 42 yards on the kick and 14 on the return. One of the reasons Miami able to make a very decent return out of it was because the kick was line drive rather than high and good coverage.
The goal of a punt return team is always to try to pick up at least one first down. They want to get at least 10 yards, and that really helps the drive. I mean, it makes it a 65-yard drive now instead of an 80-yard drive. A big advantage to get those 14 yards.
Under a minute left, first period. 7-0, Miami. Going to go long, and he had him wide open over the middle. Lamar Thomas looked like the first guy out to the workout, and Erickson didn't pick him up. Oh my goodness. Blown coverage in the secondary by BYU.
In Craig's defense a little bit, the play is read a certain way. It's going to be a play action pass, and he did have Kafusi right in his face right here. So Ty's going to go to his first guy. If he's open, he can't look for the second guy that's open, so he had to get rid of the ball. But there's no doubt Lamar Thomas, in the press box, we'll see that, was wide open going down the middle. Look for that one later.
Sacked at the 27. Rick Wilson got to him first as the secondary for BYU just covered the Miami receivers like a blanket. It's a loss of 13.
Here you see he's got no backs this time. He's reading hot, and he doesn't. Wesley Carroll comes open a little too late, and Rick Wilson with the sack. He's the strongest guy on the football team.
Reading hot, you need to explain for those.
He had no backs in the backfield, so he has to assume that when one linebacker comes, he has to know who to dump the ball off. That time he backed out. Wesley Carroll was his hot receiver.
Chudzinski drops it at the 35, and it's fourth down, Miami. Delay of game against Miami, so they will get another chance at it.
Miami's really been struggling throwing the ball. They've been able to run the ball so far, but they've really struggled. BYU is mixing up their coverages, they're coming with the blitz, and their front three has put some pressure on.
So it's not a penalty that BYU can decline. 1 second will go back on the clock. 1 second left in this opening quarter. And you get a third down with the 5-yard penalty. The ball has been pushed back to the 23, and to get the first down, the Canes have to go out to their own 45.
Well, it's not like they've never had to call a play like this. I'm thinking back to last year when they hit the 3rd and 41 against Notre Dame to actually turn the game upside down. Let's see if they send all 4 receivers up the hashes and outside and see if they can play off that middle safety and throw the ball.
Whistle, and the play is dead. Now, the 25-second clock is back to 25. The clock was whistled in with only 1 second. Undoubtedly, Erickson thought that the clock would not start. That the play would be finished. So that is the end of the first quarter. Let's take a timeout. Miami 7, BYU nothing. Seven to nothing as we begin the second quarter. Ron Franklin and Gary Danielson. So a delay of game penalty. Clock showed 1 second left. And we are checking. Obviously, I was wrong, but I thought the clock did not start until the ball was snapped.
Well, we haven't determined if you're wrong or not yet. We're going to find out.
Erickson, incomplete. Randall Hill was the man that the pass was intended for. Let's go once again to Chris Fowler.
Okay, fellas, the points are coming fast and furious now for Florida State at home against East Carolina. Terrell Buckley takes the punt back 63 yards for the touchdown, just like prime time used to do it. So Florida State was tied 10-10 a minute ago. They now lead 24-10 of the second quarter, Ron and Gary.
Snyder, 28 yards in his first kick. This is a hanging spiral that Bellini will take under pressure. Gets by the first man, and then he is swarmed at the 40. Kick of 37, loses one on the return. 7-0 our score, and the storyline in this one so far. BYU 2 fumbles in Miami territory. Johnson with the 40-yard run of the touchdown drive that came up really big. Detmer 8 of 11 at 82 yards and rushing. Miami 61, BYU 23.
The 2 fumbles and the 61 yards rushing by Miami are bad elements so far for BYU.
Nyberg across midfield at the 49. Roland Smith defensively.
Detmer all night is going to take that throw if they give it to him. Miami's starting to play a little bit of man-to-man defense. That's the big question here. Will Miami be patient enough to sit in those zones? They're not used to having a team move the ball up and down the field like this. And these guys get a little frustrated having somebody just pick and pick and pick and pick, because that's what they'll do if they let them. They're going to have to move up if they play man-to-man defense.
Short drop. Bellini, you saw him in motion. They got the isolation on Farms. Breaks it across the 38. Good for the first down at the 35.
It's just a little bit too easy. They put the man in the motion. The disguise has come off. They know it's man-to-man. Ty just drifts it out there. Notice how he throws and the guy catches the ball on the run all the time. That's the sign of a good quarterback. He's throwing that ball where they can catch it and gain some more yards.
And that's an extremely tough cover. You can see Farms have to come all the way across the field.
Oh yeah, you can't come up on that. If they have that play on, if the quarterback's good enough to read it like that, you just got to give them that throw. That's why it's tough to play man-to-man coverage with your safeties.
Detmer has it complete again. This time Boyce gang tackled Smith, the first man out there, number 16, to make the hit.
These short passes accomplish another thing for the BYU offense. It tires out that Miami defensive line. You can see those guys, Russell Maryland, Caesar, Hamlet, Curry. They want sacks. They want to get in there. And they're going to go through all that work. They're grunting. They're trying to put their spin move. They look up and Ty's already got rid of the ball. It's only 4 or 5 yards, but it's a long game. You got to rush that passer all night.
Robbie Vasco, former great here at BYU, now an assistant coach. Detmer got by Maryland, got by Caesar, and then finally tackled down around the 31-yard line. It looks like Maryland is the man who wound up wrapping him up.
Russell Maryland, the Outland and Lombardi candidate. I think he's going to go in the top 1, 2, 3 in the draft this year. One of the best defensive linemen with feet, and he can run, and he's an effort guy on every play. Just a heck of a football player. He can play for my team, or anybody else's for that matter.
6'2", 273 pounds, and they say he runs a 4.840.
I believe it.
Deeper drop by Detmer, and he nails him at the 18-yard line. First and 10 BYU. Bellini for 14 yards. They're checking, I believe it's 5 receptions for Bellini. 5 for 57 yards.
Matt Bellini, the brother of Mark Bellini, who plays for Seattle. We're going to go no-huddle offense here. Calling it at the line. You can dial any play, we were told yesterday, from the line.
Bellini this time on the run. 3 yards, now 4 to the 14.
There is no doubt that Miami defensive line is sucking a little wind. They're going to have to substitute some guys. In fact, they are right now. They're bringing in a couple of substitutes because it's just too hard to rush the passer play after play after play like that.
Eric Miller, number 95, a junior from Palm Beach Gardens, checks in the defensive line. Detmer out of harm's way once, now twice, now 3 times.
Touchdown.
Has the man open. Bellini. Yards on the pass play, and Detmer avoided 3 different sacks and then threw it to Bellini. Kaufman to attempt the extra point. We're tied, but before we go away, let's take a couple of looks at it.
There you see Ty in the pocket. He's looking. He tries to pull it down a couple times. He's got nobody. Then he starts playing some magic routines here. Spins, comes up, dips to the outside. Then he sees Bellini in the end zone. It's just a little pitch and catch. Bellini seems to find that open area every time. Ty with the jump. Boy, that was Heisman material all over right there.
12 minutes, 44 seconds left until halftime. We're tied. Football Saturday, Miami at BYU is brought to you by Isuzu. For features, styling, and price, there's no comparison. One of many ties in the stands. You see they're wearing the little ties. They were asked to bring different ties. In fact, we're going to show you some video in just a bit. There's a big Y up on the side of the mountain that overlooks this campus at Brigham Young. And last night, some youngsters crawled up there, and when I say crawled, they had to go a pretty good distance.
Yeah, hiked might be the word.
And put a T up there to make it tie rather than the Y. That's what it looks like right now. Well, last night they put a T just above that, and the police made them go up there and take it down.
There you see it.
There you see it. And folks, we're not talking about a couple of 100 feet. We're talking a long way. Kaufman to kick it off. Johnson and Hill are the deep men, and this crowd is once again aroused. Wow. 5 yards out of the end zone. Speaking of aroused, was Ty aroused? Watch him after the touchdown.
Boy, he's such a quiet, unassuming guy when you meet him, a yes sir guy, but boy, he is as competitive as anybody I've seen on the football field. And he gets into it. He chases him up the ramp. Yes, sir. Hey, that's fun. I'll tell you. You read about Miami, watch them on TV, and then you get to show that you can do it too. Everybody, get into it.
Both of these quarterbacks extremely unassuming, particularly as far as the Heisman race.
Oh yeah, they've got their head on their shoulders about that stuff. They want to win football games.
McGuire, maybe one. Patissimano coming outside to knock him down hard.
Patissimano, number 37 here, is the only player remaining from their 84 national championship team. How good is he still on this team? Took a little missionary work, come back, plays off the blocker, and wraps him up, throws McGuire down, and the number 1 sign. Seen that around. I'm sure we'll see a few more of those tonight also.
Western Samoa. Total yards from BYU now at 165. Erickson over the middle, almost intercepted, and I believe Wesley Carroll has come away with the catch. He has. Wow, that's a great effort. He was surrounded in blue.
I'll tell you, we talked about Miami's rush all night, but it's been BYU's rush on Erickson that's had trouble. He had no room to step up in there, made a good throw, and Carroll with a great catch. Watch, you see it. It's tough to throw when you can't step into it like that.
That was Kafusi, number 59. Carroll now with 2 catches for 15. Third down. Miami needs the 30. McGuire, he's not going to have it. Rick Wilson.
Wow. That got their attention.
Snyder again to punt. Bellini, no spiral in this one, no fair catch. And he's going to be whistled down. They're going to say at the 32-yard line, and now a marker comes into the pile. Well, the reason for the marker then, if he did signal for the fair catch, will be a delay of game 5 yards for advancing the football.
Matt was upset with himself.
Delay of game on the receivers.
Let's see if we can see it here. He comes up. He's thinking about the fair catch. That's all you got to do, though, because the
much
defense
akin
is
to what happened last week in the Nebraska game. Once you just lift the arm, you can't deceive the cover team. And the people that are upset about it are those cover guys that were getting knocked all over the field.
Yes, you take a paste in the mouth, and it's for a fair catch. That's not too much fun. I'll tell you, Matt Bellini hasn't made too many mistakes, though, tonight. He passed Todd Christensen on a second all-time list now for receiving for BYU. Phil Odell, former Detroit Lion, is up there. There's 183 catches. Matt's...
Oh, that defense for BYU. Yeah.
Hey,
breath comes a little easier. Smiles come a little easier when things have been going the way they have for them.
The Miami defense has not been able to slow down Ty yet.
10:49 left until halftime. Tie ball game at 7. Fake the run, put it on the hip, and now we'll pick up 4, maybe 5 yards. And let's go to Chris Fowler for still another update. Chris.
Fellas, in Tallahassee, Neon Dion is back. His name is Dion Johnson, and he plays for East Carolina, and he busted in from 3 yards out, and the Pirates won't go away. Seminoles up 24-17. The game has reached halftime. Back to Provo.
Thanks, Chris. We'll be going back to Chris and Lee Corso at halftime of this ball game to update you on today's happening this Saturday, number 2 in college football. Draw play to a Pelotu up around the 39, and he's going to miss the first down by still about 3 yards.
Ty so far has had a hot hand. Here we've broken down his passing distances. What I mean by this is less than 9 yards. He's 8 for 8. That's where he's thrown the ball. 75 yards. They catch it and run a little bit. Middle is 10 to 19, and long is more than 19 yards.
BYU looking at a blitz situation. They needed the 42. Open and complete is Boyd. All the way to the 32-yard line of Miami.
Well, we talked about the different passes. They come with the blitz. Miami does this time. Ty hangs in there as long as he can, then lays it to the outside, goes on his butt, but he knows he's got that big first long completion. He hung and he hung and he put it out there even before Boyce made the break. And that's how you get the big plays. Miami has to have the patience to stay in the zone. They cannot match up man-to-man.
Corley. Just inside the 30, that's Michael Barrow, a junior from Homestead, Florida, who bumped him out of bounds. 9:54 left first half from Provo. And if you have just joined us, it is BYU 7 and Miami 7. The Canes went on top first. And now BYU, in fact, BYU moved the football in their opening 2 drives only to fumble twice and lose them both in Miami territory.
One on a sack and one on a drop play. bad. 167 yards already. He's got the blitz.
Gets it away, and has Smith is tied in at the 10.
Miami is just making it too easy on Ty. He's the son of a football coach. He's been reading blitzes and coverages his whole life. We're going to watch him right here. He reads the blitz. He's going to audible. He knows what he's got. He knows he's got man-to-man. He hangs as long as he can, and he throws it right into the rush. Eric Miller just lays it to him. Look at him spin around for the completion. He knew he had a chance.
So let's take a timeout. BYU 7, Miami 7, and the Cougars threatening. We'll be right back. Well, this packed house is loving it because the Cougars are moving the football and moving it well. They have a 1st and goal just inside the Miami 10-yard line, and we are tied at 7.
Well, we read about Darrell Williams, the free safety for Miami, saying that let's find if Ty is for real. I think they believe that Ty is for real right now because he's putting on a show.
6th play of the drive. Backside pressure. Just overthrown. Valdez was the intended receiver. Darrell Williams, the man that Gary was just talking about, was the man who had the cover, and it was Eric Miller again, number 95, who had come into the ballgame on the last series, again putting pressure on Detmer.
Well, they brought everybody but Dennis Erickson that time, and Ty threw it to the right guy, but he threw it a little long and didn't get completion. He's going to line it up, tee it up again.
Pressure from everywhere, almost intercepted. Nyberg, the intended receiver. Miami looked as though they had at least 8, Gary, if not 9 coming.
There you see the Miami front. They're using the bear look now. They got 8 guys coming. The other guys playing man-to-man. BYU crossing their receivers, trying to pick a little bit, trying to get the cheap touchdown. Right call. Still good coverage in the secondary.
Now it's 3rd down. 3rd down and goal, 9.5 yards away. Detmer caught from behind. That's Eric Miller again. Boy, what a job he has done. And Barrow, number 56, was right alongside.
Well, they tried to roll away from the rush that time, but one of the things the Bear defense does is they rush from the outside and they keep you in the pocket. It's very difficult to get outside against that Bear defense because those 2 wide guys are crashing from the outside.
Kaufman attempting the field goal. An attempt of 31 yards. Boyce the holder. And you can tell from the reaction of this home crowd, he breaks the tie. With 8:19 left until halftime, it is BYU 10 and Miami 7. U.S. Army Student Athlete of the Game is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And our student of the game is Pete Harston of Brigham Young. He's a graduate student majoring in sociology with a GPA of 3.3. Pete Harston of Brigham Young, our student of the game. As we look at the Miami defense, Ty Detmer, we understand that on the other side of the field they are working on Detmer's chin.
No doubt. This one happened when he threw the deep corner route to Chris Smith on the blitz, and he got it right underneath the chin. Looks like he's going to catch a couple stitches there. There you see the defense. They want to rush that passer. The only way they've gotten pressure on Ty so far is to bring linebackers, and that's dangerous against this guy. He puts the ball on the mark just too many times.
Hill and Johnson, the 2 deep men for Miami. Last time, Kaufman kicked it all the way out of the end zone, and he will do so again. And now a late flag across the way. And by the reaction of the crowd, well, we'll wait and see. A cheer went up rather than ooze, and we'll see if it is, in fact, against Miami.
Gives you a good hint, huh?
Yeah.
Well, as usual in these cases, it's usually the second guy that gets caught. Let's see what happens here. Couple big hits. Remember, this ball has gone out of the end zone. He pushes it back, hits him into the head, and then he points. That's always what you do. You can't hit him in the head with that. You're going to get called every time. Good call.
Well, this is a duplication of what happened to the Cougars early on in the ball game as they suffered a personal foul on the kickoff.
Let's see if Craig can get it going. They have not had a first down passing the ball yet in this game.
Miami 4 first downs, all on the ground. McGuire wrapped up after a gain of 1. Fatissimano has been all over the field. He is as tough as his name is to pronounce.
Fatissimano. Everybody will learn it, though, tonight because he is all over the field making tackles. He's the emotional leader of this football team. He was part of a national championship team, as we mentioned before, and the guy is ready and geared up to play.
Alex Johnson checks in for Miami. Number 21, he's the speedster. The lone setback. Johnson gets by one tackler, will not get by the second, as he is going to be knocked down by Norman Dixon. And they will spot the ball just shy of the 15-yard line. It will be third down Miami, and they need the 30 for the first. Gary, I suggest to you that Miami needs to get the crowd out of this game, and they're not doing it right now.
Here you see it where they're trying to run the ball to do it. Jared Levin does a nice job. He gets blocked here, 56 on the right side of your screen, but he turns the play in back to where his help is. He does his job even if he doesn't make the tackle. And a point for a linebacker to do.
Erickson, incomplete. Carroll, the intended receiver at the 19, and listen to this crowd.
BYU came with their nickel package that time and blitzed again. Derwin Gray's coming off the slot, made Craig throw hot, and he didn't do it accurately enough.
Snyder waiting at the 1, barely got it away. Not a spiral, but Bellini back at the 46, and he gets clobbered as soon as he catches the football by Darren Smith. Boy, Bellini just simply does not want to call for a fair catch unless he has to. Well, it's the St. Louis Cardinals against the Chicago Cubs tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday Night Baseball. Two of baseball's top hitters, Ryan Sandberg and Andre Dawson, leading the Cubs against the Cardinals. 8 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern Time right here on ESPN. Ron Franklin and Gary Danielson from Provo, Utah. It is BYU 10 and Miami 7. Three-step drop, incomplete, and now intercepted. Maurice Crum with the football that had been deflected, still on his feet at midfield. The third turnover of the ball game by the BYU Cougars, and the Miami Hurricanes with a big break, making it for themselves on defense.
Ty tries to stick it in real tight right here. He's in between a couple linebackers. Three-step drop, puts it there, but it's bobbled. And Maurice Crum, he's always around the ball, making tackles. The leading tackler the last 2 years, Mo. They call him Mo now. Mo does Bo. He makes the catch here. He goes, and he won't go down. This guy might be playing some fullback next week. Big turnover, 50-yard line. Let's see if Craig can crank him up now. They need some yardage.
Fumbled the ball as he ran into his own guard, and BYU football. Norman Dixon on the recovery, and the pulling guard collided with Erickson.
No doubt about it here. You see Craig take the handoff, and he doesn't really get the snap cleanly. That's what happened on the play. It was bobbled from the get-go. It looked like the guard knocked it from him, but then it's a mad dash, and first turnover. Boy, back to back. Let's go the other way.
Watch it. On the ground, then the lineman kicks it,
which usually happens, and then you got to go chase for it.
Fake the run, Maryland, and he gets it away to Boyce. That's a gain of 2, but I'll tell you what, it should go on every highlight film that they have.
Oh, my
That's
God.
incredible.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people voting right now.
Russell Maryland had him in the grass. Not only did he get away, threw its sidearm falling away.
You know what's so inspiring right here? When you got a guy that weighs about 160, 170 pounds out there doing this against some of the best players in college football, that's just so infectious to the rest of your teammate. You're 260, you're saying, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. Here comes the blitz again.
They're coming after him. Detmer over the middle, single coverage, incomplete, and a marker. Charles Farms is flagged for interference. Chris Smith was the intended receiver.
All right, they're just making it too easy on Ty. You can sit up here and tell a blitz every time. Farms, a free safety, isolated on Smith, the All-American. Not a great route. He puts it up there, but Farms jumps. He gets him in the back. They're going to call that every time. Very tough when you put those free safeties man-to-man. There you see it again. Definitely got him. Got him with the body, as they say.
Boyce and Matsuzaki, the wide receivers.
Throwback screen.
Salido fumbles the ball, and he is knocked down for a loss. Is Armstead. Wow. He came through the blockers, and if he's not there, there was a lot of blue on the far side of the field.
It's a sprint action. All of the back just kind of hides behind the line of scrimmage, and they throw back.
But Eric Miller again. He didn't start in the ballgame. Hamlet did, but we've called his name. It was Miller, 95, who rushed the throw to Salido.
Well, Ty had him in his face, but that's the one guy they're not going to block. They're going to let him go free. Jesse Armstead stayed at home and made the play. It's a good play by Jesse.
Valdez, the man he was looking for at the 35. Russell Maryland, that time pressuring the passer.
You see Maryland here is going to come around on a stunt to the outside. He's going to chase, and believe me, I can't tell you how frustrating it is for these big guys to run all that way and not get a sack. In fact, it's so frustrating, he's going to come off the field. He's sucking wind big time. Ty, he almost gets a completion there by not completing the ball because he avoids the big 10-yard sack.
Mulaney and Salido in the backfield for BYU.
He's going to audible here.
Pass incomplete, and Detmer got rocked. Matsuzaki, the intended receiver, and I believe it's Barrow, it was, who came through and really lowered the boom on Detmer. Watch it.
Here you see it, the all-out blitz. The only way they've been able to stop him passing. The zones don't help. They're going to come out with the blitz on him. He waits as long as he can. Catches one in the face again. Oh, that's a long night, I'll tell you. 170 pounds. This guy's looking right at you in your face after you do that. Probably talking to you, too.
Field goal attempt of 54 yards by Kaufman. Does not have the distance, and to the right. 5:31 left until halftime. BYU still leads 10-7, and let's go back to Chris Fowler. Chris.
Fellow Sports, Greg's rebuilding program in Dallas is moving along nicely. Mike Romo of SMU connects on his second touchdown pass of the night, and the Ponies have a 14-0 lead over Vanderbilt. Heavy rain now in Dallas. Let's go back to Provo.
So the Ponies trying to get back on track. Last year, their first season back from the death penalty. And tonight, going in front of Vanderbilt 14-0. Conley will not be be able to turn the corner as Jared Levin, number 56, was right there to push him out of bounds. He is from Soda Springs, Idaho.
Jared Levin, number 56.
Jared again plays off the blocker and just strings him out and makes the tackle himself. He's got a couple of big plays. Here you see him.
Soda Springs.
Come on, Craig, gear it up, big.
Quick outs, incomplete. Looking for Randall Hill, but Kafusi, you could see number 59 come across with his hands up and obscuring the vision of Erickson.
Good point, and that really is why the throw went high, because he couldn't follow through with the throw. The ball sails a little bit. It was an audible. They were playing off. BYU's, you'll see it right here. Kafusi's in on the throw, gets his hands in the throw, and throws it a little bit higher than he wanted to. Just couldn't follow through.
Miami 0 of 3 of third down conversions. Erickson, ball is tipped, incomplete. They will have to punt again. That's Pete Harston, our athlete of the game, and this crowd standing. Snyder to punt again, and let's see if Bellini forsakes the fair catch, because Miami has done a good job of downfield coverage. This time he does, because of a very long spiral to the 17. 48 yards in the punt by Snyder. This is going to be one of the worst field positions that BYU will have had all night. The only other one I can think of was that scrimmage from the 10 following the personal foul on the kickoff.
Where you see Ty, he's got to get it going a little bit. Believe me, he's going to step up to the competition just like Ty has right now. He's as tough as they come. He wants to win football games. He struggled a little bit. Hasn't been all his fault right now, but Craig has got to get it going, and he's got to get his rhythm out there. So far, Ty Detmer, 17 for 25, 182, and he's got plenty of yards to roll up some more.
Look in pass, complete to Boyce. Bailey had the grabbing, but Detmer took maybe a half step and just unloaded it.
Well, what happens here is no one covers him. They have a little eye contact between each other. Comes off the ball looking, he delivers it to him. Look at, he even breaks his route. There's a guy standing right behind him, and Boyce just won't go down. 20 yards. Boyce, 4 catches already, 54 yards on the night.
Total yards, first quarter BYU 105, second quarter 126. Only 11 for the Canes in the second period. Salido. Check it, 32 rather than 22, Tuipulotu. And he is close to another first down. However, they're going to mark it at the 44, so he'll miss it by a yard and a half. But BYU has really got Dennis Erickson's defense confused, and you could tell by that expression they do.
Here you see the quick draw. This is one of the plays that defensive coordinator Sutton Lubick said they had to stop, was the draw trap that BYU has run for years here. Tuipulotu gets in the secondary, makes a miss. Second short. Everybody likes to throw the ball here. Let's see what they do.
They keep it on the ground, and they will pick up the first down. Tuipulotu called out again. He is a junior from San Mateo, California. Russell Maryland wraps him up, but the chains will move down on the far side with 4:03 left until halftime.
Now take a quick look at Russell Maryland, the All-American candidate from the University of Miami, comes across, cuts across his man's head and makes the tackle right here. Look at, push him down. Look at those feet. Guy weighs 290 and cuts across on 1 foot to make the tackle. Great play. Great player.
Detmer looking for Boyce, just overthrown at the 30. Ron Franklin and Gary Danielson, great to have you along on this beautiful Saturday in Provo, Utah. The third game of our triple header today. California won the opener today, winning over Wisconsin. In the second game, it was Virginia, and winning big, and I'm sure that party is going strong in Charlottesville right now. And in our game, it is BYU 10-7 with 3:47 left until halftime. Nyberg. Ball is knocked loose. Free ball at the 45, and Miami will make the recovery. That is the 4th BYU turnover in this half. Curly Brown, I believe, yes, made the recovery. As Nyberg was close to being down, but undoubtedly the officials thought he had not gone with his knee to the turf.
Here you see Nyberg right here. He's going to come off a couple steps. This is how they're picking up those short yardage plays. You just stepping back, throwing it, trying to pick up 4 or 5 yards. Comes out, tackle. Is he down?
Oh, he's down.
Oh, he's down. He is definitely down right there. You can see the referee right there. He came up with the whistle in his mouth. It looked for sure like he was going to blow the whistle. His knee goes down. Bad breakdown.
Erickson, far side, complete. That's Lamar Thomas, the first catch for him in the night, just short of the first down at the 34. Tony Crutchfield is out there defensively. BYU got a scare Thursday afternoon. Crutchfield, who is the starter at left corner and one of their best athletes on the field defensively, injured a knee, and he also has an arthritic condition.
Let's look at it one more time.
Yeah, his knee is down as we look at that replay one more time. Anyway, Crutchfield also has an arthritic condition. Went down in practice, but he is okay and starting tonight. Johnson right up the middle. Down close to the 26-yard line is Rocky Beagle. The left inside linebacker for BYU is there to put the stop on him, and that's enough for the Canes' first down.
Previous pass out to Lamar Thomas is what Craig is going to have to do. They're playing man-to-man coverage out in the corners and trying to confuse him on all those slots and little option passes. He's going to have to throw the ball outside.
McGuire to the right side, gets by one tackler, and then Dixon, one of the first men up, along with Jared Levitt.
Outstanding play by Jared Levitt again. He's got a guy right in his face. He squeezes it down, and that's what caused it. There you see Shad Hansen, number 50. He reads the play, reads the counteraction, keeps low, sheds off a blocker, and pushes him back. Push him back. Don't let him fall forward. That's the way to do it.
10-7, BYU leads. Clock now at 2:39 and counting until halftime. Miami with a 2nd and 9. Erickson has Thomas on the near sideline, inside the 5 and knocked out of bounds at the 4. 1st and goal, Miami.
That's really what they have to do. They're playing man-to-man out there. He has to throw to the ball to the wing. It's the toughest throw, but he's going to get the most out of it right now. You see Craig recognizes the defense. He comes back, delivers it, follows through, puts it right on the money. Nice juke right there, up the sideline. Almost gets to the end zone.
That's the longest completion by Erickson tonight. Good for 20 yards. They go with McGuire to the 2. Levitt again defensively. Clock still not a factor. In fact, Miami, I'm sure, would love to do 2 things. Get it in the end zone and also just use it all the way up if they could.
Excellent point, because if you give Ty back the ball with a minute and a half, you may be looking at the 7 the other way. So take your time. Get into you're not going to turn down a touchdown, but you might want it with about 30 seconds to go would be nice. They like to run the draw down here also.
McGuire, left side, he'll walk in. Touchdown, Miami. Gary, that offensive line just walled it off, allowing McGuire to have his easiest carry of the night.
Yes, well, they spread everybody out to the far side of the line. They had to have 3 receivers over there, so they had 4 defensive backs. They just didn't have anybody to come up and play any type of defensive force from the secondary, and he walks in.
Huerta's extra point attempt is good. He keeps his string alive, and with 1:48 remaining until halftime, it's Miami 14 and BYU 10.
That was a big one for Miami. Here you see it. There handoff to McGuire right there. Comes out. And this is a walk-in. Nice combination blocking right there. Chudzinski and Sullivan and Searcy. They come out. It was Searcy and Chudzinski. They team off. They double one guy and then they rub off on the linebacker right there. Here you see Dennis. Has he got the call? Little body action. Yes.
You know, in our phone hookup this past week, we talked with both Dennis and his coordinators, and he made the point that one of the things he wants to happen with this football team here, better situation for running, but he wants Miami to be more of a running football team. 50-50 this year.
And they were close to 50-50 last year, but when you look at the statistics, it may be a little misleading because they were so far ahead in many games that they were running the ball a lot in the fourth quarter. He would like to be about 50-50 in the first half, and that's a key to his team. He feels that being with the same offense for the second year, everybody together, they're more on the same page with the running game this year.
Carlos Huerta will kick it off for Miami. BYU with a lot of time left until halftime. 1:48. Kick will come to the near side and out of bounds just before it reaches the end zone. That was to the side of Tony Crutchfield. And Huerta, who is extremely, well, you talk about a hard worker. I mean, Fridays are real light workouts. In fact, sometimes it's almost like a joke. But, I mean, he was out here for 30, 35 minutes. Even after the team left the field, he kicked the entire afternoon.
Well, that's why he's an All-American. You know, I always had to ask the guys when they kick like this, you know, you guys make 90-some extra points in a row and you kick it out of bounds on the kickoff. I never could understand it. There's 50 yards to kick the ball in. They just try to make that perfect kickoff. That's what it is.
A few more steps to make that mistake. The lights are now on here at the stadium. We don't need them yet, but we will be within the next 30 to 45 minutes. It has just been a glorious day in Provo, Utah.
Looking forward to this minute 48 2-minute drill with Dr. Ty coming out here.
Coming down to Crutchfield at the 7. Across the 25 to the 26. So BYU is 74 yards away, and Gary's point is well taken. Now it shows a minute 42 on the clock. This minute 42 could take 20 minutes to play if Ty Detmer has his way.
You know, yesterday it was a short workout for BYU also, but one of the things they do practice on Friday, which I like to see, is they practice the 2-minute drill. They kind of walked through it, but they went through it. You know, play after play, at the line, so they're used to running it.
Detmer 19 of 28 for 207 yards and 1 interception.
Come on, get him!
Smith, his tight end. That's a good open field tackle by Roland Smith. He just wasn't going to look at anything but his belly button and nailed him at the 30.
Calling him at the line now. He's got hand signals to the outside guys. He calls it by the voice to the inside guys.
Salido out of the backfield and very close to the first down. In fact, from where they have spotted it, he will have it. So that will stop the clock just for a moment as they move the chains with 72 seconds left until halftime. Crum and Smith combining in the tackle for Miami.
Well, the chain gang's getting to work out. They're going to keep doing it all night. There are going to be a lot of yards on this board before we get done.
Bellini, instead of coming out of bounds, he cut back into the middle of the field. They'll make the tackle at the 45. Roland Smith again. It's 3 in a row that he's had to make.
Ty's looking for a field goal, looking for 3 points. Of course, he'll take a touchdown.
Pushed around, marker is down, and he will be sacked. Maryland on top, but I think you'll find 97, Anthony Hamlet, down on the bottom of the pile. Now, the interesting thing here for Miami, that is going to be a loss of 9. It obviously is holding from where the marker's been thrown. You would think that they would just take the play, right?
Well, they probably will. The first holding. Here you see Russell. They're going to try to double team him if they can, but when they bring more than 4 guys, they got to look around. A couple teams sacked there. They might get a half a sack each on that one.
There's Hamlet coming from the backside, left side of your screen. 97. He grabs him first, and then Maryland for good measure. Third down, Brigham Young. Third down, they need 10 yards for the first. Detmer over the middle. Nyberg crosses midfield to the 44. And now look for BYU to take a timeout. Detmer calls for the timeout. The clock has 31 seconds on it. BYU 10, Miami 14. We'll be back in just a moment. 14-10, Miami leads, 31 seconds left. The scoring summary: McGuire with a 7-yard run as the Canes went on top in the first quarter. Matt Bellini, a 14-yard pass on a scramble effort that was wonderful by Detmer. They tied it at 7. Then Kaufman put the Cougars on top, 10-7, 31-yard field goal. And just a few moments ago, McGuire walked it in around the left side, 3-yard touchdown. Huerta with the extra point, and that's how we stand right now, 14-10. 31 seconds left until halftime.
He needs about 20 more yards, it looks to me, to get the field goal. Let's see how he does it.
Detmer has it complete to Bellini. Breaks off a tackle at the 30. He's to the 25. Bailey finally stopped him, but it's good for 19.
He's either got a play called here or he'll ground the ball real quickly. If he has a play called, he'll go with it. It's to his advantage. The defense is tired.
Over the middle has Salino at the 1.
Plenty of time.
Miami is asking for a timeout on the sideline. Now, whether the defense has seen it, yep, they have. Timeout, Miami, with 14 seconds left until halftime.
That's their last timeout now, and that puts them into a passing situation only. Dennis will realize this. They'll understand that he has to throw the ball now. He's probably going to get 3 plays and be able to kick the field goal on 4th down if he has to, but he can't take the chance of running the ball now because they'll never get another play on. I'm kind of surprised he just didn't line up there right away with the clock stopped in college football. Just go up there, take the snap, and ground it real quick. Probably would have only taken 2 more seconds, and he could have saved that last timeout. Hey, who am I to say? The guy's thrown for 300 yards this half, though. Here you see it right here. He looks off left, moves the safeties, turned back right. He knew what he was doing all the way. Puts it right on the mark again.
Crum finished him off. It's about 1.5 yards away.
You know, he put on a passing exhibition against Penn State for over 500 yards. And they shut down Vinny Testaverde in that big national championship game a couple years ago, and they said they just couldn't dial a defense that he didn't recognize and react to. He's just making all the right decisions.
Ty Detmer, look at those numbers. Second quarter, 205 yards in this quarter alone, and we still have 14 seconds left. 287 first half yards for Detmer.
I guess he's going to add to that 300-yard passing record.
Last week he had over 300. In fact, he had 387.
And he said he was unhappy.
He said he wasn't pleased. Bellini and Tuipulotu have come into the backfield. Also, Boyce at one of the wide receivers. He's a senior from Salt Lake. He is their possession-type receiver, number 17. And Nyberg, number 29.
Nobody's covering this guy.
Rolls it. Touchdown, Boyce. Well, if there had been a roof on this stadium, it would have gone sky high when that touchdown pass was thrown. They simply erupted. Kaufman, good. Craig Erickson on the near side of the field. His ball club now trailing by 3. Let's look at it again.
All right, there you see Ty. He's going to roll away from the rush. He knew they were going to be coming. The receiver comes in from the outside, runs a little kind of a stop into the corner, and he's wide open. A pitch and catch. Touchdown. It doesn't come much easier than that. There you see it again. He's going to run away from that backside. Nobody can catch him on that way. Easy
Roland Smith just got a really late break, and not that even if he had broken on time, it would have been.
Well, what it was really was a type of a pick pass. Watch, he'll close down, he'll stop on it. Can't really get a good look at it. All you see is Ty right there. But they faked the pick pass, and then he broke back out.
Johnson and Hill back in a twin safety for Miami. They have 10 seconds left.
Well, we talked about them not giving him enough time, but they gave him too much time that time on that 2-minute drill.
Kaufman, for the 3rd time, has kicked it either to the base of or out of the end zone.
There you see the guy. He's got a gash, he's got stitches, but he also has got close to 300 yards in the first half. You ask him a question in the last couple of days, it's yes, sir. It's like a paper boy. But he's doing more than delivering today. He's delivering a possibility of shocking another #1 team in the opening game.
10 seconds left. McGuire the lone setback, and they will keep it with him rather than put it up and take a chance on a turnover as Beagle makes the stop, and the clock will run out. And listen to them as they head to the locker room. Do they love it in Provo? Well, the only thing I could say after that is the display that Detmer put on was Heisman kind of performance. On the other hand, Miami is still only down 3 points in this football game, and they can put it in from any place on the field.
Well, there's no doubt about that. They can score, but also BYU has left their mark on this game that they can score also. Had it not been for some turnovers, it could have been worse, but Ty has definitely put on as good a performance as I've ever seen from a college football player in the first half. I mean, this is a defensive team Miami has here that is the #1 defensive team coming in this year. They shut down everybody. He's frustrated them. His emotional leadership has picked up his own football team at the same time. Even little things like Matt Bellini not fair catching, and kind of just puts it right in their face, like, we're not going to be intimidated by you tonight, Miami. We're going to catch it, you're going to hit us, but we're still going to move the ball.
Remember I told you that yesterday. BYU is in awe of nobody, and they have shown it in the first half. It should be a great second 30 minutes. Chris Fowler will be along at halftime along with Lee Corso to bring you up to date on what else has happened in college football today. But right now, let's go to a break. BYU 17-14.